What is happening, guys? Mike here. Welcome back to the channel. Today I have another episode of Shampoo Search for you, and today's episode took a lot of time to put together. An entire month, actually, is how long I use this system that I'm going to showcase for you guys. And I recorded the results, of course, so that we could, put it all together and give you guys a full, well-rounded look. I also didn't get a haircut at all during the whole month that I tested this out, so you could see like the entire picture. And honestly, I'm kind of enjoying this, this little bit of a change, this whole growing out thing. I don't know yet if in another month I will feel the same way, knowing how my hair behaves when it gets a little too long. It's always been a hassle for me, but you guys have actually been asking me for a couple years now to try growing out my sides, so maybe it's time we finally give it a go. Maybe? I don't know. Let me know down below what you think. I'm thinking yes for right now. I don't know how I'm going to feel soon, but I'm on board with it for right now. Today, though, we have a brand to look at called Regrowz, and there's a lot of info on this brand to share. There's a lot. They've got a lot of stuff, so I'm going to try to just condense it as much as I can here, but the origins of this brand actually begin from ancient Ayurvedic. I'm just going to put it up on the screen. Here's the word. Here it is. Say it however you want. I don't know. So they begin with that ancient medicine, that word again. And when I looked that up, I found that they say online anyway, trust what you will, but from what I read online, it said it happened to be one of the world's oldest holistic or whole body healing systems. Now the brand explains that they started with a serum that was developed in this medicinal style and then passed down through generations, where it was experienced by the now director of Regrowz, who had such a positive result with it. He then decided it needed to be shared with the world. Now I am going to interrupt here our worldly and adventurous tale to say yes, this is a brand targeted towards hair loss, and I mean real hair loss, not, I woke up with 5 hairs on my pillow, or oh no, I ran some product through my hair and now there's a couple on my hand and I'm dying. I mean actual thinning and hair loss, like people that are actually going bald. I'm mentioning this because I myself am not suffering from any such affliction. I've had my scalp looked at by a dermatologist. I've been examined. There were no signs of hair loss. I would be totally honest with you if there was, because I'd be looking for something like this to fix it because I enjoy my hair. But thankfully, one of the only good things I have going on is genetics on my side, as none of the men in either side of my family actually have gone bald. So I don't have a whole lot going for me. I do have that, though, and for that I am grateful. But I did, however, think that there was some value in seeing what this would do for my hair, if anything at all. So I used the system I'm about to show you for an entire month and then documented my results. Now, though, let's jump straight into what we're talking about here, back to Regrowz and their products. The system, or the Regrowz treatment, consists of a few different products here. So I'm just going to go through the steps and then explain the products as we need to for each step. And the first step here is to apply the scalp treatment, which is specially formulated to open the pores in areas where there is experienced hair loss. And what this does is it prepares the scalp to receive the restoration serum, which is step 2. It's also really easy to apply. It has this comb looking thing, this applicator with holes that the serum just comes out of, and you basically just comb it in. Basically, there's nothing to it here. They do say if you are experiencing actual baldness, the places where it's thinning or, having some baldness come through, you especially want to apply it to those areas. But for me, somebody who's not experiencing it, I just combed it through my hair super easy. Step 2 now is to apply the restoration serum, which is that super old medicinal potion-like stuff that I mentioned briefly, a minute ago, that word that I struggled with, a second ago. This is that stuff. And again, they say this is made of a formula that's been passed down from generation to generation. And according to the brand, it's actually been proven in a clinical study to have resulted in an average of 39.41% reduction in total hair loss, with up to 44.90% reduction in some of the participants. Now, the directions actually say to wait a full 30 minutes after applying the step 1 scalp stimulant there before actually going in with step 2. So I just want to point that out and make sure I said that. And after you do that, this is what it looks like here. It's a thick paste-like product, and you don't really need a ton of it. It's very oily, and it just comes out in like this very thick paste-like substance, and you want to evenly spread it across the hair and work it into the scalp, and again, especially any areas you might be already experiencing hair loss, along with, you know, the other parts of your hair, obviously. They then recommend for step 3 here to leave this in overnight. So what I did and what they recommend you do is for your pillow, because you're going to sleep in this, you lay a towel down over top of your pillow. Just like lay a rag or a towel or something over top your pillow, because this will get all over it and make it all gross. So you don't want that. So I just laid a towel down, worked very well. I mean, you could wear like a hairnet or something to cover your hair if you wanted to, but a towel worked honestly just fine for me, so you didn't get this all over the place. But step 4 now takes place the next morning here, and that's simply to wash it out. And to do that, we do have the Regrowz thickening shampoo. This too is made to work in the system and provide really good benefits to the hair while also thickening it according to Regrowz. They also say this has no sulfates, parabens, no GMOs, no silicone. It's even gluten-free if you need that sort of thing. If you need your shampoo to be gluten-free, well, there you go. It's gluten-free. But instead of all of that, including the gluten and the GMOs, instead of all that, it has a bunch of awesome ingredients that you can see here. You can see it on their page, and it's packed. I mean, this stuff is completely packed full of stuff. You can see everything here. And when it comes to actually doing its job of cleaning that stuff out of your hair and just, you know, cleaning your hair in general, you can see it actually at work here as we wash out that thick paste we put in for step 2. And really what I see, because since you can't feel it, I'm just going to describe it to you. I can really feel it breaking it up as soon as I apply that shampoo. And after I rinse it out and then, for experiment's sake, blow dry, this is the effects that I can see in my hair. The product is obviously all gone, my hair is fully cleansed, and I think it's set up really nicely for the next step here, which is the Regrowz conditioner, which they say nourishes fine and thinning hair using a formula of natural extracts which penetrate the hair fiber for stronger, healthier looking hair with intense moisture and shine. Like the shampoo too, this one has some great ingredients in it, so really this should be just a powerhouse of health that we're about to introduce to my hair here. So let's take a look at that. I'm going to just reset everything so that I can add in the conditioner in there, and as usual, I'll just leave it in for a few minutes to give it a chance to take effect. Then I'll rinse it out, blow dry it one more time just for experiment's sake. This is what we got. I think for sure, compared to just the shampoo result, this looks a lot better. There is for sure some added volume there, and I do think it looks and feels very good. I think it looks great, but really I have to ask the question, is it making my hair thicker or even making it grow faster? We will see at the end. You know, I do have actual footage I'm going to show you from the 4-week trial, but first let's go through some other details here very quickly. Let's talk scent here, and we will go through quickly product by product. First up with the scalp stimulant here. This one doesn't have a scent, super easy, no scent on that one. Next, let's move over to the shampoo here. This has what I think is kind of like a typical store-bought shampoo scent, if you can pick up where I'm going with that. It's fresh, it's clean, it's very pleasing, it's very typical, I think, of a shampoo. Moving over to the conditioner real quick here, the volume conditioner. It has somewhat of a similar scent, but it's more earthy in tone. It's honestly not my favorite. It's got this kind of like earthy, I don't know how to describe it. It's a little bit earthy. It's very close actually to the Restoration Serum, which they're very close. So I'm going to transition over to this one because this one is much more intense with that earthy scent. It's honestly, I can't get behind the scent. It's very intense. It's like earthy but sweet at the same time. Not my bag at all. I couldn't really get excited about this one. It's probably one of the only setbacks for me, honestly, was that it did not smell good at all, and when you have to keep it in your hair all night, it kind of gets to be frustrating just on that note. But you know, I wanted to make sure if I see it, I say it. That's how I do things here. You guys know how that goes. I gotta say though, I did have a brief thought when testing it that maybe it's got so much going on there, you know, with like the ancient formula and, you know, stuff that maybe it's not supposed to smell good. You know, sometimes that you will find, like with medicine, for example, the stuff that works the best tastes the worst. You know, so I kind of did have that thought, and I want to throw that out there honestly because it does perform really well. I couldn't stand the scent. That was just kind of my thoughts on that. But let's transition into more final thoughts here. My final thoughts on the system, and those thoughts begin with the statement here. I do think that the system works well in a few areas when used all together and used correctly. I do think for someone like me who isn't experiencing hair loss, I can for sure tell you I think it did a great job of repairing and nourishing my hair using them all together. It really did, and that's just based on the end results that I found after using this for a full month and going off the instructions and using it every other day as it says to do. And don't worry, I'm going to show you the footage here in a second. I just wanted to get all my thoughts out first. I did feel like it made my hair feel really soft. It made it look and feel like it had a lot of life to it, some natural bounce, a little natural glow to it. I think it did a great job in that aspect. When it comes to growth and thickening though, this one I do want to show you guys because I did document each week like I've been telling you throughout this entire video, so you can see for yourself here. This is week 1 when I began using the entire system, all the products together as I just showed you. This was week 2 after using it for just 1 week. You can see some results there. I actually think I see a change here, a slight change. Then we have week 3, and here I think we can see even some more results. It definitely looks thicker. This is no product added, by the way. This is just my mess of natural hair. So you guys who think I have perfect hair, take a look at that mess. It looks like a tumbleweed. But then we finally move to week 4. This is the 4th week. This is what I got here. I did not get a haircut at all during the test. I did have my hair colored after completing the month-long trial to get rid of the blonde. But again, that was after doing all of the 4 weeks of testing, so I didn't interrupt anything like that. And it does take me back to that original question. Did it grow faster and grow in thicker than it would have naturally without using this stuff, or did it encourage some thickness and growth? I actually think that it for sure had some effect on my growth and thickening level. I think it did cause it to grow in faster, especially right here, right on the top of my sides here. I think that actually grew in quite a bit, and I think up here, actually in my top, it came in a little bit thicker than normal. So it's not a lot. I don't want to put it out there that there's some drastic, huge, substantial result. I'm talking about slight results. I also want to point out that I only tested this for a month. I think you're actually supposed to use this system for 3 months and to see the full effect. So I want to point that out there too. But what do you guys think? That's also what I want to know. What do you guys think of the results here? Let me know in the comment section what you guys saw in my documented results here from the month-long test. My personal opinion here is I can't definitively say with honesty that this system will help with thinning hair or baldness. That's not something that I suffer from, so I'm not going to insult anyone by making claims like that. I do think, though, in my hair that I definitely saw some kind of effect. Again, I think that effect is hard to gauge for me, as I couldn't tell, if it was the entire system or what really was causing it, but I'm going to go ahead and give credit to the entire system and say they all had a minimal effect on the growth rate and thickness of my hair, just a slight bit as it grew in over the course of a month. I do want to say, though, that it for sure made my hair look and feel healthier. I absolutely can tell that. That's completely definitive in my opinion. Did it look and feel healthier than other shampoos that we've searched out and tried in this segment? Yes and no. I think for sure that I've tried in my life some that this does top in performance, but I can also think of a few that make my hair feel a bit softer and more lively, if I'm being honest there too. Price-wise here, if you're interested, the hair growth and thickening treatment, which is the step 1 and step 2 products that I showed you guys here, those are $65.95 for 3-month supply. So basically that's $21.98 per month if you divide it up that way. And then if you want to add in the shampoo and conditioner, those sell on their site for $12.99 each, so another $26. And before I forget, that's for 5.9 ounces in the conditioner and 7.6 ounces in the shampoo. So another $26 for these 2 cleansers here. And as usual, links will be in the description there if you're interested in checking these out. But that is it though for this episode of Shampoo Search. If you enjoyed this video, help me out by smashing that thumbs up there. And if you do want to see more, that subscribe button is how you do that. Make sure you turn the bell icon on as well. Thank you so much once again for joining me here on the channel. Take it easy. I'll see you next time.